God is everywhere. His presence is not confined to the walls of a church or the pages of a holy book. He transcends all physical and spiritual boundaries, permeating every corner of the universe. His essence is woven into the fabric of creation, from the tiniest particle to the vast expanse of the cosmos. He is in the sunrise and the sunset. Each dawn and dusk is a testament to his artistry and power. The colors that paint the sky are his brushstrokes, a daily reminder of his presence and his love. As the sun rises, it brings with it hope and renewal, and as it sets, it offers peace and rest. He is in the mountains and the valleys. The towering peaks and the deep valleys are symbols of life's highs and lows. In the grandeur of the mountains we see his majesty and strength. In the quiet of the valleys we find his comfort and solace. No matter where we are in our journey, he is there, guiding and supporting us. He is in the whisper of the wind and the crash of the waves, the gentle breeze that rustles the leaves and the powerful waves that crash against the shore. Both speak of his presence. In the quiet moments we can hear his voice, and in the tumultuous times, we can feel his power. He is in every breath we take and every sound we hear. He is always with us, even when we don't feel him. In our moments of solitude and silence, when we feel most alone, he is there. His presence is a constant, unwavering, and steadfast. Even when we are unaware, he is watching over us, guiding us and loving us. He is a God of power. The might of a waterfall and the brilliance of the sun breaking through clouds are mere glimpses of his strength. His power is limitless, and it is always at work in our lives. He moves mountains and calms storms, and he does so with a love that is as powerful as it is gentle. He created the universe with a word. The vast expanse of the night sky, filled with countless stars, is a testament to his creative power. Each star is a reminder of his infinite wisdom and the care with which he crafted the universe. His word brought forth light and life, and it continues to sustain all of creation. He calmed the storm with a whisper. Just as he spoke peace to the raging seas, he speaks peace into our lives. No matter how turbulent our circumstances, his whisper can bring calm and clarity. His voice is a beacon of hope, guiding us through the storms of life and leading us to still waters. He raised the dead with a touch. His touch brings life where there was none, hope where there was despair. The blooming flowers in spring and the sunrise over a graveyard are symbols of his power to bring new life and new beginnings. His touch transforms and renews, bringing beauty and life to the darkest places. There is nothing that he cannot do. His power is boundless, his love is endless. He moves mountains, calms seas, and brings life to the dead. There is no challenge too great, no problem too difficult for him. He is the Almighty, and with him, all things are possible. When we face tough times, it's easy to forget God's presence and power. We feel alone, we feel scared. The weight of our problems can make us feel isolated and overwhelmed. But even in our darkest moments, he is there. His presence is a light in the darkness, a source of strength and comfort. We feel like we're going to drown in our problems. The storms of life can be fierce and the waves can seem insurmountable. But just as he calmed the storm with a whisper, he can calm the storms in our lives. His peace is a refuge, a safe harbor in the midst of the tempest, but God is still there. Even when the clouds are dark and the storm is raging, his presence is constant. He is the light that breaks through the darkness, the hope that sustains us. His love is unwavering, and his power is unchanging. He is still with us. In the quiet moments of reflection, in the peaceful places of our hearts, we can feel his presence. He is the still, small voice that speaks to us, the gentle hand that guides us. His presence is a comfort, a reminder that we are never alone. He is still our refuge and strength. In him, we find safety and peace. He is our shelter in the storm, our fortress in times of trouble. His love is a refuge, his power is our strength. No matter what we face, we can trust in his steadfast presence. The Bible tells us that God is our rock and our refuge. Psalm 46 verse 1 says, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Deuteronomy 31 verse 6 says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. These verses remind us that we are never alone in our struggles. God is always with us, ready to help us. He is our protector. He is our provider. He is our everything. I remember a time when I was going through a particularly difficult period in my life. It felt like everything was falling apart, and I couldn't see a way out of the darkness that surrounded me. I had just lost my job. a position I had held for many years, and the weight of uncertainty pressed heavily on my shoulders. The bills were piling up, and I didn't know how I was going to provide for my family. The fear of not being able to support my loved ones was overwhelming. I was so scared and I felt so alone. The nights were the hardest, filled with sleepless hours and endless worry. I would sit in the dark, feeling the weight of the world on my chest, wondering how I would ever find a way out of this storm. One day, in the midst of my despair, I decided to turn to my Bible for comfort. I had always found solace in its pages, and I hoped it would offer me some guidance now. As I flipped through the familiar passages, I came across Psalm 23. As I read the words, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," I felt a sense of peace wash over me. It was as if those ancient words were speaking directly to my heart, reminding me that I was not alone in my struggles. The imagery of green pastures and still waters brought a calmness to my soul that I hadn't felt in a long time. I knew that even though I was going through a storm, God was with me. The storm clouds in my life were still there, but I could see a ray of hope breaking through. I realized that I didn't have to face this battle alone. God was my refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. He would never leave me nor forsake me. He was my shepherd, guiding me through the darkest valleys and leading me towards the light. With this newfound faith, I began to see the small blessings in my life, the little moments of grace that reminded me of His presence, and I would not want. The journey was still challenging, but I felt a renewed sense of hope and purpose. I knew that with God by my side, I could face any storm and come out stronger on the other side. This experience taught me that even in our darkest moments, there is always a hand reaching out to guide us through the storm. I've heard many stories from people who have experienced God's strength in their own lives. One woman told me how God healed her of a serious illness. Another woman told me how God helped her to overcome an addiction. A man told me how God gave him the strength to forgive someone who had hurt him deeply. These are just a few examples of how God shows up in our lives. He is always working, even when we can't see it. So how do we find God's strength in our own lives? This is a question that many of us ponder, especially during times of difficulty and uncertainty. The answer lies in a simple yet profound practice that has been a cornerstone of faith for centuries: prayer. The first step is to pray. Prayer is not just a ritual or a routine, it is a heartfelt conversation with the divine. It is an opportunity to connect with a higher power, to seek solace, and to find guidance. Prayer is simply talking to God. It doesn't require elaborate words or a specific format. It is about being honest and open, sharing our innermost thoughts and feelings. Whether we are joyful or sorrowful, confident or anxious, we can bring everything to God in prayer. It's telling Him our needs, our fears, and our hopes. In prayer, we can express our gratitude for the blessings we have received and seek comfort in times of distress. It is a way to unburden our hearts and find peace in the presence of the divine. It's asking for His help and guidance. When we face challenges and uncertainties, prayer can be a source of strength and clarity. It allows us to seek wisdom and direction, trusting that God will lead us on the right path. When we pray, we open our hearts to God. This act of vulnerability and trust creates a space for divine intervention. It is in these moments of sincere prayer that we can experience a deep sense of connection and reassurance. We allow Him to come in and work in our lives. By inviting God into our hearts, we acknowledge our dependence on Him and our willingness to be guided by His wisdom. This openness can lead to profound transformations and a renewed sense of purpose. We invite Him to be our refuge and our strength. In times of trouble, prayer can be a sanctuary where we find comfort and hope. It reminds us that we are not alone and that we have a source of unwavering support. Prayer is not a magic formula. It is not about getting immediate answers or having all our problems solved. Instead, it is about building a relationship with God, one that is based on trust, faith, and love. It's not about saying the right words or praying for the right amount of time. The essence of prayer lies in its sincerity and the genuine desire to connect with the divine. It is a personal and intimate experience that varies for each individual. Prayer is about connecting with God. It is a way to align our hearts with His will and to seek His presence in our daily lives. Through prayer, we can find strength, comfort, and guidance, knowing that we are always in His care. It's about spending time with Him and letting Him know what's on our hearts. In these moments of quiet reflection and sincere communication, we can experience the profound power of prayer and its ability to transform our lives. We also need to seek God's strength daily. Just like we need to eat food every day to nourish our bodies, we need to spend time with God every day to nourish our souls. We can do this by reading the Bible, praying, and spending time in nature. When we make time for God, we are making Him a priority in our lives. We are saying that we need Him and that we want Him to be a part of our lives. God promises to give us strength when we are weak. Isaiah chapter 40 verse 31 says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." When we put our trust in God, we can be sure that He will give us the strength we need to face anything that life throws our way. He will never leave us nor forsake us. He will be with us every step of the way. Today I am so grateful for God's presence and power in my life. I am grateful that He is my refuge and strength. I am grateful that He is always with me, no matter what I am going through. And I am grateful that He has promised to never leave me nor forsake me. I pray that you will experience God's strength in your own life. I pray that you will find hope and comfort in His presence. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him and He will make your paths straight. Amen.